And what is up, everybody? Okay, just finished watching UFC 185, and it was a pretty decent night of fights. Um, didn't watch the preliminary, so no idea what happened there. But Ross Pearson won his fight, which was, pretty devastating knockout. So, okay, first fight, main card. You have the Olympic gold medalist, uh, just own his opponent. I forgot his name. Uh, it almost sounds Japanese, but it's a Latin name, and just comes out to the Olympic anthem, and just owned his opponent all 3 rounds. Then we go into next fight, which is Alistair Overeem versus Roy Nelson. Uh, Very boring. The whole 3 rounds. Roy's looking for the big knockout, but obviously, nobody tries to take down. It was just stand up the entire time. Alistair Overeem, clearly being the superior striker, basically just kept him at bay, and then just blocked. Whenever they got, he just stayed like this the entire time, and there wasn't much that Roy Nelson could really do. Roy Nelson just throws wild haymakers because, he used to grapple a lot till one day he knocked the guy out and found out it's like, you know what, this is a lot easier. It's a lot easier to do this, and basically, a lot of times his fights suffer for it because if he doesn't land that shot, he doesn't win that fight. Um, After that was Hendricks versus Matt Brown. Johnny Hendricks just coming off the very controversial split decision win from Robbie Lawler. Matt Brown also coming off of a loss from Robbie Lawler, and the two of them go at it. And it was interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. It was interesting to see them because they were both very focused. And Matt Brown, was laying some good combos, but had no takedown defense. Hendricks just just grab the legs, suck him down every single time, pick him up over his shoulder, standing up, and just take him down over and over again, and just beat him up bad. Just beat him up for 3 rounds, and he felt like that he didn't do as well as he should have. Personally, I don't think he could have really done much better. I mean, Matt Brown, from what I understand, is a very, very tough guy to beat. And then for you to just nominate him the way you did, dude, take the win and get ready for the next fight. Then, of course, the title fight for the women's strawweight championship. Carla Cookie Monster versus Joanna, this Polish name I cannot pronounce. For the life of me, I'm not even going to try. And when Carla shows up, I could already see in her face, it was as if she was trying to be somewhere else. She was not in it, and it was very, very disheartening to watch her get absolutely dominated. I want to say like she probably trained thinking that, because apparently Joanna, whatever her last name is apparently like 6-time world kickboxing champion. That includes Muay Thai, and Carla was probably thinking, and this girl was much taller than her, and obviously had the reach advantage. So Carla was probably thinking, I'm not going to try to trade strikes with her, but she's just such a pure kickboxer. I'll just focus on taking her down. You work my ground and pound and possibly submit her. Not expecting that she was not going to be able to take Joanna down. She caught her 1.5 times in the first round, and didn't really get to work the ground and pound, didn't really get to work the clinch, and could oh man, every time she shot him for the takedown, Joanna just sprawled out like nothing, and just took Carla's heart, man, and went went to a TKO victory in the second round, and your new uh, women's strawweight champion, Joanna, whatever. It's not that I don't like her. She's earned it. It was like I really felt bad. I really did. I genuinely felt sorry for Carla. Congratulations to Joanna, and you're obviously a very exciting fighter, and look forward to seeing you in the future. Then, finally, the main event for the lightweight title: Anthony Pettis versus Rafael Dos Anjos. Well, Dos Anjos, because he's Brazilian and the J doesn't get the H sound in Portuguese like it does in Spanish. So what winds up happening is, now, remember when Pettis fought Melendez, I told you how basically he was just very methodical and just waiting. He just stood there waiting. Because Melendez, it looked like in the beginning, was getting the better of the exchanges, took him down a bunch of times, and he was just calm and just waited. As soon as he saw the opening, caught him with a nasty guillotine. It looked like that's what he was trying to do this time around again. He was basically waiting for Rafael Dos Anjos to make a mistake. But Rafael Dos Anjos did not make a mistake at all. Seriously. He was dominating him in the stand-up, dominating him on the ground, dominating him in the clinch. Again, just very disheartening. And you could see, it wasn't like Anthony Pettis didn't have anything left in the tank. You could see like he was just waiting to explode. Problem is, every time he thought he had the opportunity, he thought he saw an opening, it just slammed shut on him. Rafael Dos Anjos, it was, the performance he put on was very reminiscent of Ricardo Arona. That's right, the Brazilian Tiger. He dominated guys in pride, take you down, nasty ground and pound, and brilliant jiu-jitsu and just ground control, and just destroyed guys left and right in pride. And I was shocked that after Pride got bought out, you never saw him again. He just straight up owned Anthony Pettis. And I feel bad for Anthony Pettis, because it's like when you see somebody with a championship belt for a certain amount of time, it's weird seeing them without it. Quentin Jackson didn't hold the belt long enough to feel like man, it's weird not having him not having the belt. Forrest Griffin didn't have the belt long enough. Rashad Evans didn't have the belt long enough. Lyoto Machida didn't have the belt long enough. Shogun didn't have the belt long enough to be like, yo, it feels weird not having it. BJ Penn, when he finally lost to Frankie Edgar, yo, it's weird not seeing him. Chuck Liddell, it was weird. Tito Ortiz, weird. Randy Couture, weird. Because these guys were seriously long-reigning champions. For Anthony Pettis to take the belt from Benson Henderson, first fight I saw Benson Henderson without the belt, it's like this, it was just off to me. And Anthony Pettis held the belt for a long time. One, because it was like over a year before his next fight after winning the belt. And two, he just finished getting himself on the box of Wheaties and holding the championship belts. So it's sad when you see that. It was very disheartening. he was just completely outclassed. I mean, he knew that he wasn't strong enough to beat Rafael dos Anjos, but to try to outmuscle him was completely out of the question. So he was trying to outthink him, but it was just at a pace that he just was not ready for or familiar with the pressure that Dos Anjos that Dos Anjos had put on him. And like I said, it was very reminiscent of old Pride. The majority of the fighters in old Pride, oh my God, none of the guys in UFC would probably be able to stand a chance. I mean, if Chuck Liddell would have fought if Vanderlei Silva didn't have a crushed septum to the point where he was completely incapable of breathing through his nose, if he would have been 100% guaranteed, Chuck would have lost that fight. If he'd have fought Vanderlei in Pride, when Vanderlei was at his absolute best, guaranteed he would have lost that fight. And if he'd have fought Ricardo Arona probably would have beaten him. Quentin Rampage Jackson beat him twice, and because Chuck just wasn't familiar, he just not familiar with that type of pressure, and especially getting knocked out by Shogun, who you just get that pressure on you. You don't know how to shake it off, and that's what happened with Pettis, and it was very disheartening to see that as well. But Rafael dos Anjos, you're the champion. You're probably going to be a champion for a little while. Congratulations to you. So that's it for UFC 185. I'm done talking. Everybody have a good night.